pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop.
Hi, how are you two doing?
We bittersweet.
Okay, that's fair.
We're happy to get to talk to you, Brooke, but we're not happy with the circumstances.
I get so excited to speak to everybody, and I get all on, and I'm like, how's it going? It's great. And then I realize as soon as I say something that it's probably not the best day. It's probably a little bit hard. So I'm sorry. I was very, very sad to see you go last night. And I will say, the second I saw you read the clue, I went, no.
I know.
Penalty. But I mean, I guess the question is, I'm sure you've done 100 interviews today. So What do you guys want to talk about? Tell us something you haven't spoken about yet that you're interested in sharing with the people who watch.
I don't know about that, but I will defend myself in the clue really quick. I did say. Okay, so basically, well, not defense fully, but it's ironic because the first leg of the race, I had race brain, and the last leg of the race, I feel I did really good in the middle, really containing it. But the first leg of the race, when we thought we were kind of last leaving Sing, it said take a taxi to Phil. And I made my mom run about 2 miles that she couldn't have ran to find Phil. So I was a little scarred by like, next time we can take a taxi, we should. So then in this leg of the race, my mom doesn't read the clues. She usually was so frantic about like getting going. I read, and then when the additional clues, like information we're reading, she's just bolting. So like, it's like read and catch up. And so I was running and I saw the word taxi and I was like, must take a taxi. This is great. And it's just ironic. We were supposed to take one the first leg and we don't. And then the last leg, we're not supposed to, and we do. So,
okay,
that was fun.
I mean, it happens. You guys were a joy to watch. Melinda, I have to say that Bryce would probably give me a little bop in the face if I didn't say that you were amazing. All of these roadblocks that you did and all of these challenges that you did. I mean, I ran the race in my 30s and I was huffing and puffing and ready to die at every turn. You made it look easy, I'll say. And I have a little bit of Melinda in me because I was very much, are you sure? Is this right? The relationship that you two have of balancing each other out was just so fun to watch. So what was it like doing the race, with your daughter or with your mother? Was this the first choice? Was this the plan?
Go ahead, Mom.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. And then she mentioned it to me. And so here we put in a video and here we are. And
easy.
I'm just so grateful to have done it with her, and she just showed me how incredible she is. I mean, honestly, she led us, she directed us. She had to carry a lot of the load because I am the slower and the weak one of everything. So like even carrying that Penjor and Bali was so heavy. And, she took a lot of that weight because I can only do so much with the back. So yeah, I was just very grateful and so blessed to have done it with her. And I know I kind of drove her crazy sometimes, but that's pretty typical.
Well, and just to toot my mom's horn a little bit, the other mother-daughter team that was even successful was 20 some years younger than my mom. Like, to be an all-female team, mother-daughter team, and my mom was the oldest cast member this season, and we made it to 6. Like, she absolutely killed it. So really, really proud of that.
And you made it to 6, and it's not like you made it to 6 and you petered out. Like there was I think you both had more in the tank or were ready to keep going. Yeah. This was just sort of what happens when another team decides to stop helping you and help somebody else. We did notice, Erika, especially you over the course of the season, helped a lot of the other teams, whether you stopped to help Jonathan and Anna with their bicycle or whatever it was. Watching it back last night, I don't know if Han and Holden had spoken to you about it or let you know what you were going to see, but how did you feel last night watching the second you walked out of the room? They were like, oh no, we're not working with them. Let's work with somebody else. Did it make you, would you do it the same way again in the future?
So for me, like you said, I tried to help teams along the way. It was definitely strategic on my end in that sense, because I knew we were going to need help at some point. Like in reality, we were an older, female team. We were going to need help. So if we were ever in the middle of the pack and I knew we weren't going to be eliminated, I was going to help someone. just to basically get good karma later on. And so we didn't actually know anything about the Jack and Carson and Han and Holden before the episode, which is so funny. I wasn't too offended by it, just in the sense that like Jack and Carson had already flipped over too. Like it wasn't like someone gave away the information that was going to change everything. Like both of them were going to have it in the next few minutes. And so in that aspect, I was just more grateful that Holden still came back to tell us.
Yeah. Well,
that was what I was happy about.
Jack and Carson had their way. I don't know that they would have.
Jack and Carson, that is our only regret. Love them so much. If we could have U-turned them in a heartbeat, would have been Jack and Carson over Nick.
So you didn't know? You had no idea where they were?
No.
We had no idea. We didn't see anybody but Nick and Mike. So that's why we did Nick and Mike, because at that point we thought it was them and us.
And you could tell when you open the clue box, because for anyone who doesn't know, you can't open the clue box until you've decided whether or not you're going to U-turn somebody. And so you could tell, especially with Erika's face, you have the ability to hide your face like I do, which is not at all. And so you could tell when you open the clue box, you were like, oh.
I know. As soon as I saw extra clues, I was like, this is the worst. And no one knew still that it was Jack and Carson, though. Like, we didn't know that it was them. And nothing against them, but they're really good racers. So when you can get them out, I just wish they had been gone.
Yeah.
I don't think you're the only ones who wish that. I think everybody else who is still racing against them probably wished that. Can we talk for a minute about your relationship with Jeff and Pops? Because that was one of the sweetest, most pure alliances on a race that I've seen in a long time. So how did it organically happen, and what's the relationship like today?
Oh, I love Jeff and Pops still to this day. Jeff and I actually bonded on the very first leg of the race. The funny thing is, the very first thing that we bonded over is we were both like really big Brother fans. And we're like, oh my gosh, you're strategic? Oh, I'm thinking strategic. And then we got on that flight together. We were both like, I think both of us understood we needed to be smarter, not harder, kind of like work smarter, not harder. We have an older parent. We can't do it. Like Pops is definitely more physical than my mom, but there's still an aspect of like, there's the older parent who might need help. And so it was like working together to be like, all right, we two are like going to get us on this flight, or realizing then we also kind of talked about like, if I'm doing a roadblock and we notice like Pops should do the roadblock because I can help him. If my mom's doing a roadblock, let's have Jeff do the roadblock so that like he can help her. And so it was a really good, just strategic alliance we made kind of logically. And then also we just get along really well. I love Jeff still. Like they're just great people. Everything you saw on camera is so genuine of them. They're amazing. And so not only like strategically did it make sense, we just like we're close with them in general. And so it was something that was really hard to see them go. But we always wanted to help them along the way too. And they always wanted to help us.
Was there any part of you that you turned, oh, wait a second. Yes, that you turned Nick and Mike because of what?
Because they did that to Jeff and Pops.
Oh, that never even came in our mind.
We wish it had that. No, it's so funny. Yeah, we're just going to say that's what it was now. Like, we're mad that they outran them. And so that was just our vengeance for Jeff and Pops.
I love it. Melinda, would you do it again?
You turn them?
No, the race.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would love to get a chance to do it again when I'm healthy and in better shape. So
was there an instance where you were hurt? Were you running hurt for part of the race?
Yeah, most all of it. 6 months before, I had fallen from the attic and I broke my heel and didn't walk for 8 weeks. And then 2 months later, I was totaled in a car accident and injured my spine and my right hip. And so I was in physical therapy and I was barely walking a mile by the time we left. And then
Melinda, I had spine surgery 6 months before the race. I feel you so deeply to my core right now.
Well, I was in pain the whole time with my right hip and I don't sleep. And then we found out on the race that my vision was affected because I couldn't read the clues. So I didn't know that had, because you just have every day. But when you're trying, we realized that I couldn't see either.
So, well, you couldn't tell. I would have had no idea about the hip or the pain.
Yeah.
She had a lot to contend with. I mean, so I give her credit for, we tried to stay positive and keep on going. And I know I questioned her now and then because we're both very competitive, but I knew for us to succeed and be together, we had to work together and we both couldn't be the chief. And so I tried to be the Indian and I questioned her a little down to see Phil at the thing, but it's like, but I don't see it. So I don't get to see them. the phone and the stuff to know. So it's like a lot of
Grab her
trust.
arm and pull her. We did see you do a whole lot of tasks and roadblocks, and really there was no point where you're like, I can't do this. I mean, there was one or two where Erika was like, I'm doing this because it's more physical, but it was never you saying I don't want to or I can't. Is there anything that watching the season back you looked back on, you're like, oh, I really can't believe that I did this. I thought I couldn't do it, and look at me now.
Well, I loved jumping out of the airplane. That was the best. And no, I'm kind of disappointed when we got to the one in Japan with the soccer. I had pulled my quad, and it was like, we thought it was going to, maybe the guy had told us it was soccer, so we're thinking maybe it was going to run and kick soccer things. I could have probably done that roadblock, but she killed it the first time. She's so incredibly athletic and good at everything. So, you know, the roadblocks really worked out in our favor of how we ended up doing them. I know people were like, Melinda hasn't done any, but it just, the timing wasn't right. And the ones that we picked were really good, and it worked out. And
I think we picked the perfect ones too for my mom. And especially the last one was great to get to see her like crush the dance. Like, I know we've already kind of talked about, but like giving her that opportunity, and it was totally in her wheelhouse because she knows how to Greek dance from like my dad's side of the family. So it was just such a fun thing to get to see her do.
Did you get to keep the outfits?
I wish. No.
Would have been so cute.
I stole one of the shirts when we were on a gondola. I have that shirt. I was like, they need the hat. She needs to keep that hat. It is.
We should have.
I know. I would have loved to kept some of that.
Do you feel like the relationship between the two of you has become I know, Erika, are you still hanging up on your mother? When you don't
I think I answer the phone a lot more. Thank you very much.
He does.
I love it.
Yeah, I now don't
like
just hang up.
Sometimes
say goodbye.
Just say goodbye.
I
My
say
mother
goodbye
and I
before
sometimes
I
say,
put
I'm going
bed.
through a tunnel. Sorry,
Progress.
can't hear you anymore. And that's our way of hanging up on each other when we don't want to talk anymore. I do want to reiterate one more time that Bryce is officially incredibly upset he's not on this, but he wanted to make it very, very clear that that we all end up in New York City in a few weeks, that he is looking forward to giving you both a very big hug, and that you were just an incredible joy to watch. I personally love the all-female teams. I love the parent-child teams, and I have to say, well, I probably did count you out incorrectly based on nothing before we started the season. Not only did you surpass like all expectations, but it was just really, really fun to watch the two of you grow over the course of the season. So thank you so much for just making what's already an amazing season just that much better by being a part of it. Really, really love watching you too.
Thank you so much. We love y'all too. And like, I think honestly, we shocked ourselves every leg of the race too. We came into it being like, let's just do our best. Like, we know we're the all female and an older cast member. And it was just really cool getting to see how much we got to go and like keep staying alive each leg of the race. We were like, what? Let's go.
Yeah, my favorite parts of everything you did, honestly, were when you would get to the mat and you were a higher place than you thought you were, and just the looks on your faces of, oh my God, like it's because Erika is not of a hard map. Sorry, like you're not the business, but like your sense of direction is, you have like an internal GPS, and so you would just pass people and get to the mat and shock yourselves, and that's always so fun to watch people who are genuinely like kind-hearted, good people like do well and just be genuinely happy and surprised with how they're doing. So I hope that you felt as much joy doing it as we felt watching you do it, and hopefully we'll get to watch you do it again.
We are all in. My mom is now healthier, so.
So CBS, if you're listening, justice for Erika and Melinda. They want to come back.
Yeah, we got this. We'll read the clues correctly.
Correctly.
I mean, it happens. It's not Melinda's fault. Her eyes don't work. So
exactly. That's what she told Phil at the mat. Phil was like, I'm sure it's a team error. My mom goes, oh, I don't even read the clues. I was like, thanks, Mom. I accept.
Everybody threw you under the bus last night. That's just what happened.
Really was thrown under. I was like, not looking forward to this the whole leg of the race. It's like,
I feel so bad because they did throw her under the bus, and she did so amazing the whole time and put up with me and my. So she's incredible.
It's all
she's
a learning experience, and you're gonna do it better the next time around. That's all you
100%.
can ask for. But thank you, ladies, both so much. This has
Thanks,
just been
Brooke.
an extreme pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you both face to face in just a couple of weeks.
yes.
So
We'll see you in New York.
thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You trying to get your snack? You better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the